Paternal psychopathy is an argument that can be really traumatic for children who have no other figure next to them than that their parents, and no other friends or relatives who can take care of their education. My father was one of the worst people I ever met in my life. She was very vulgar. She was very rude and vulgar and violent, but in a way that cannot be compared to people affected by some kind of addiction to drugs and alcohol and violence. Um, these people can have some attacks, some dependence that can affect their life in a limited way. But have when you meet someone who is affected by this kind of psychopathy, you can only see that single phase, that single aspect of his or her life. Just imagine a child who is alone in a house with a psychopath, and this psychopath is his only world. The parent who should educate and teach this child to live, to survive into the world. I'm the son of a mother who is affected by a kind of retard or mentally retarded. She was chosen by my father in a very humble and in a very retarded context, social context, social group, and he married her just to torture her, so that she became a kind of a creature, evil creature, educated to make me suffer just as he did to me. But my mother was a mother who despised me and hated me just because she reacted to the ways her husband treated her. So she just was an absent figure in my life. A person who occasionally despised me, hated me, insulted me, but substantially she was she was a mother. I don't have any relationship, didn't have any relationship with her. My father was a person who destroyed my life, and he did it in decades, for more of 30 years, every day, every night. He built his existence around this core. He insulted me, he repeated to me that I would fail, that I was stupid, that I was kind of waste of human existence, And he just obliged me, forced me to close myself in a room without going out anymore. And even now that I'm almost 50 years old, I'm locked in a room. Not because he just forbids me to go out, just because my whole mind is constructed this way, structured in this way, and I have no personality and no force, no energy left. It's easy when people say, "Oh, you are grown up, you can get out of your room, you can find a job, you can work, you can go and build a family." This isn't true. When you have a tree and you just inject venom in this young tree, you cannot um, imagine that this tree, once it is grown up, can just produce leaves and flowers and blossoms, etc. This tree, even if it survives, it is just a dead tree, almost dead. You cannot delete a life that you spent with torture and traumas and violence every single day. My father loved to see me die inside, and I did it because he wanted me to do that. Every single day he insulted me and beat me, but he was the violent to the point that he made me bleed, or to the point that he sent me to the hospital. That's not true. Um, I was just beaten, but not to the point that suffer physically from this violence. He just loved me having fear, and loved me to fear him, and just keep me weak and conscious of my inferiority. That's all he wanted, and he just made sure I was a failure in my life. And the more he saw me die inside, the more he was violent and spit at me and spat at me, and laughed of me, and just drove me away when he realized he just succeed in his act. I don't think he was conscient anyway of what he did, because he needed to satisfy this kind of personality of his psychopathy, and he behaved this way just to me. He didn't care about his family. He was completely different outside. He was a very weak man, very coward outside of our home. So I learned with time to despise him, to hate him, and just to lock myself in my room with my own world, to just escape this failure he wanted me to be. Thank you for listening to me, and see you in the next video.